Hello everyone, my name is Besga Simon and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to continue with the examination malpractice detection model, and in this model we have been looking at how we can use machine learning and artificial intelligence to implement and bring this model into practice. So today we are going to look at the final term paper for this examination malpractice detection model, and these are some of the contents of this term paper. You have the abstract. In this abstract, you have some of the subtitles, some of the subsections that we shall be looking at in this model. You have an introduction. We have been looking at the introduction of this model. You have a background and motivation, literature review, methodology, the EDA, results and discussion, conclusion, and the rest of the subsections that we shall be looking at in this term paper. So let us have a look at the introduction to this slide. So examination malpractice is a widespread problem in the education system. It refers to any illegal or unethical behavior that takes place during an examination. And we have been looking at the several examination malpractices that can take place in an examination room. We have impersonation, we have smuggling of illegal items like cheats, stick notes. So to address this problem, various methods have been proposed to detect examination malpractice. However, these methods have limitations, and most of these methods have been human-based, therefore they are prone to errors. Therefore, we have decided to come up with an examination detection model that is going to help us to detect all these malpractices. This model uses machine learning algorithms to analyze patterns of students' responses and identify any suspicious behavior that can take place in an examination hall. So the background and motivation for us to develop this model. So the model is developed to address the above mentioned problem, which is examination malpractice, and it utilizes several sources of data such as audio and video recordings, network logs, keystroke dynamics to identify flag instances of malpractice in real time and post examination. And this enables the authorities come up and take decisions according to what the model has recorded or according to what the model has captured. So we have different techniques that we have used in developing this model. We have supervised and unsupervised learning techniques, and these techniques help us to train our model, teach our model how it can be able to capture these several malpractice problems. So our model is trained on a data set, and this data set, we shall have the link to this data set in the comment section. Let us look at some of the supervised techniques. So in supervised learning techniques, we use the labeled data, where we know the input and we also know the output, and this helps the model train on this data to match the input to the appropriate output. And in unsupervised learning techniques, we only have the input, we don't know the output. Therefore, we are going to train this model, teach it how it can be able to match a given input. So these supervised learning and unsupervised learning techniques, they have weaknesses because we are limiting our model to train on a given set of data, which means that once the model has not learned enough, it is only going to rely on the data that has been given as its input. Therefore, the model won't be able to recognize further examination malpractices. And in unsupervised learning techniques, the model is learning on unlabeled data. Therefore, it is assuming, and sometimes it is very inaccurate to determine which output is supposed to be provided. The methodology, the proposed examination malpractice model, it was based on machine learning algorithm, and the model takes an input of a data set, as we have talked about that. It includes students' answers and demographic information such as images that show how malpractice is carried out, and also this data from the data set is fed into a machine learning algorithm such as a decision tree or a random forest, and this helps to train a classifier. The classifier is used to predict the likelihood of examination malpractice for each student. So let us look at some of the methodology that has been used. We have data collection. We need to collect the data from the data set and we process it. And processing is done in the pre-processing stage. Then we have to validate the data that we have in the data set to see whether it is the right data that we are supposed to use in training our model. We have to tune the parameters and the hyperparameters of the data. We need to check whether the data is large or small for the model to train on, and we also need to evaluate the data. We have to evaluate the performance of the model according to the data we have fed it with. We have, now let us look at the data set, its description and its origin. The data set that we are going to use in this involving this model is common examination malpractices. This data set is on Kaggle and we are going to provide the link to this data set. So it contains a collection of data points or images, and these images, they represent how various examination malpractices are carried out. So our model was trained on this data set, it was validated and tested on this data set. So we have to prepare the data, we have to clean the data set, we need to split the data set in order to fit it to be used for training, testing and evaluating the model. So the dataset preparation and cleaning, this is a crucial step in the machine learning process. It impacts the quality of the results. So we know that as we are training our model, as we are evaluating it, as we are testing it, we need quality data, and quality data starts by a clean data set which has been prepared very well. So by cleaning the data set, I mean cleaning a data set is a process which involves removing or correcting any errors or inconsistencies in the data. This involves correcting incorrect data types, removing duplicate values, and imputing missing values. So our data set has been cleaned properly with a proper algorithm that we are provided in a notebook on Kaggle, and we shall be sharing this. So splitting the data set was split in a ratio of 2 to 3 to 5. This is because it is proper to train your model on less data, train it, then you evaluate it on more improved data, and then on the testing part you have to test the model with several images, several data, such that it is able to produce quality results. Model selection and optimization. This is a very important step in model implementation. This is because we look at how the parameters and the hyperparameters of the model are switched. Then we have accountability. In model accountability, it is important to ensure that the model is both accurate and fair. Model selection involves choosing the best machine learning algorithm and tuning its hyperparameters to achieve the highest accuracy in detecting examination malpractice. This may involve comparing multiple algorithms such as decision trees, support vector machines on your networks, and selecting the one that produces the best results on training the data. Then for accountability, it refers to the responsibility of a model and its creators to produce a fair and unbiased results. We know a model that has been trained on unbiased data, it is going to maintain these biases, and in producing our output we shall have these biases reflected in our model results. Then after several testing, we came up with a table that has been provided in our Kaggle notebook, and this table shows the precision, the recall accuracy of our model. So these are the evaluation metrics, and they help us to determine or to check the accuracy of our model to see how much it can predict according to the actual values that we have been having. So in conclusion, in this paper we have proposed a new examination detection model that uses machine learning algorithm to detect and prevent examination malpractice. So the model has been evaluated on real-world examination data and shows promising results in detecting examination malpractice. This model has the potential to significantly improve the accuracy and efficiency of examination malpractice detection and could be applied in education institutions around the world. So these are the links to the dataset and to the notebook that we used, and we shall paste them in the comment section. Thank you.